Your clutter is not the bad guy. It's actually trying to help you. And when I go into a client's home, I need to see the mess and the clutter so that I know exactly how to set up the perfect organizing system. I'm gonna teach you how to read your clutter so that you can have a home that stays organized all the time. I used to really struggle with mess and clutter, and no matter how often I would try to get organized or clean it up, it was messy again the very next day. It was not until I realized that the piles and the mess were actually telling me what I needed. It was showing me exactly how I needed to organize and where I needed to organize. And now I use other people's clutter piles as a map to create the perfect organization system. I'm going to teach you how to read your clutter and stay to the end of this video where I show you exact examples and solutions for all of your biggest clutter issues. The first thing your clutter tells you is where you're naturally piling things. And I know this sounds really obvious, but this should be where you actually create homes. So if your kitchen counter has lots of paper clutter, you need to put a paper clutter catcher right there. If you have a ton of cords and cables and charging devices, you need to set up a charging station right there. Definitely this is the secret to long-term success, is looking where you pile and setting up a home for this stuff right there. Your clutter reveals what's really important to you. So the spaces that have the most clutter, take a look at what's in there. If you have a ton of books, you're probably a book lover and you need to dedicate a spot for, a book nook in your home. It can be as easy as shelves, just like this. If you have art supplies or craft supplies all over your dining room table, you probably need an art station right in that room. I love this about your clutter. It tells you what your favorite things are and exactly where you should create a home for them. My favorite way to read clutter is to let it tell me exactly what your organizing style is. So when I go into a client's home and I see that their everyday things like bathroom products, their toothbrush, their hairbrush, whatever they use to get ready, if it's out on the counter, they're probably a visual organizer. So I have to create a system that's super visual. I'll also peek in their drawers and see if they're pretty neat and structured or a jumbled mess. This totally can help me identify their organizing style so that I can set up a system for them that works exactly the same way to catch their clutter. So take a look at the stuff you touch every day and let your clutter tell you what your organizing style is. Your clutter lets you experiment with different organizing systems and it tells you what works and what doesn't. So if you are piling your paper here and then you try a system like this and it stays tidy, you know it's working. But if you continue to put it here, you probably need to try a different system, like a stacking paper system. Or if you're always dropping your keys, try a hook. And if that still doesn't work, try a tray. My rambling point is that your clutter piles is awesome for showing you what works and what doesn't. And what works is the systems that stay tidy. Your clutter can really highlight your storage issues. So if you're walking in and there's a pile of shoes everywhere, you're probably not a put in a closet family. So getting something like this, a little shoe organizer right where you come in and where you naturally kick them off, is super helpful. I also love that there's a top drawer for tossing in our junk, like keys and everything that's in our pockets right here. So look at your clutter and realize it's probably a storage issue, and how can you adapt for exactly where you're naturally putting things down. Your clutter also tells you exactly what's overwhelming you. So if you have a lot of one category, like tons of dirty dishes all over your kitchen, you probably need to declutter the kitchen. Or if you have dirty clothes all over the floor, it's time to declutter your clothing. I feel like toys is a really good indication too. If your living room's just scattered with toys, you have way too many. Let your clutter tell you exactly what is stressing you out and what you need to let go of. As promised, here are some real life examples of what your clutter is saying to you and how to fix it. If you have a trail of coffee mugs, you're a person who just leaves coffee mugs all over the place, it's telling you that you love your coffee and that you need a coffee bar or a coffee station. Have a little mug hook and a place for your sugar and everything you use to make your coffee, and contain it in a tray so you're in the habit of coming back to the same spot all the time. If your entranceway has bags everywhere, backpacks and purses and reusable shopping bags, this is telling you you need hooks. You need a drop zone with easy to access hooks to hang everything up quickly and get it off the floor. Even if you have a closet, if your stuff is on the floor, it's telling you hooks over closets is what you need. If you have a junk drawer that is bursting and everything's jumbled with random stuff, what this is saying is you are a person who needs containers. You need drawer dividers so that you can still toss your things away quickly, but the little segregated containers catch your clutter. So open up your drawer. If it's all jumbled, the secret is drawer dividers. If right by your door there is a mountain of shoes, it's just like a pile everywhere, this is telling you that the system inside the closet is not working. And instead, you need to have a shoe rack exactly where your family naturally kicks their shoes, or better yet, get a big basket to kick the shoes into. Definitely work with how you're naturally putting things down or taking it off and adapt your home to catch that clutter. If your kitchen counter is just chaotic, if there's keys and papers and just everything always, this is saying that your kitchen is a hub, but it's also the natural spot that's the command center for your home. So carve out a spot on the counter for this busiest part of your home to go and live. Have an organizing system right there. Call it a command center. This is where you should keep your keys or anything else you're naturally putting here. Create a real system and you'll see that the clutter will be gone for good. I love, love, love when I go into someone's home and there's books everywhere, because what that is saying is not only are you a book lover or if you have magazines or papers, but what you really need and want is a book nook. So a little library somewhere in your home for cozy reading. And all you have to do is look where you naturally sit to read and look around and think, where can I create a book nook really close to this? So get a little bookcase or have a special chair moved to this spot with some storage for books. This is what your heart and your home really need. If your living room has pillows and blankets and throws, it means it's important to you to have a cozy space. All you really need are some big giant baskets on the floor to toss all the cozy stuff into. Maybe you have a playroom, but your kids are dragging all the toys into your living room. What this is saying is that you have to have a PlayStation in the living room. A little calyx shelf with some bins that are labeled is all you need, or get a storage ottoman or turn your coffee table into a little play zone so that the toys in the living room have a place to live all the time. If your desk is a hot mess sandwich and there's Post-its and notes and just stuff everywhere, this is saying, hi, I'm a visual worker and you need a visual place to put your stuff. So bulletin boards and pegboards and desk organizers that get the stuff off the surface and up where you can see it is exactly what you need to stay tidy. Last but not least, if your clothing and closet is a disaster, this is telling you that you need a clothing reset. You probably need to let go of at least 25% of your clothes and adapt a system that catches your clothing how you naturally put it down. Maybe you don't love putting clothes away, so get a shelf or stackable laundry hampers to just put the basket right on. Get hooks to hang your clothing up if you really hate hangers. And if you're not a folder, who cares, friend? Just toss it in a bin. Let your clutter tell you and show you exactly how to organize. I hope you're looking at your clutter a little bit differently and realizing that it's not the enemy that you just have to shove and hide, that it's telling you exactly what your home needs so that you can stay tidy and organized all the time. Make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comments below if there's one hot spot in your home, like that's just in what's being piled there, and I'm gonna offer some help and suggestion in the comments. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Thank you guys so much for those of you who have stayed to the end. This isn't a funny story, but this is like a woo story. Are you ready? I don't know what else to call it. It's woo. It's a woo woo. It's a little woo woo. The point is, am I redoing this? Yes. Thank you guys so much for those of you who have stayed to the end. Not a funny story, but a crazy pants story. Are you ready for it? If you remember before, we had this stray cat, Mr. Bojangles, that kept coming around. He was wild, and then he would get hurt, and we fixed him. And then we were like, you got to stay inside, bro. And then he would escape and get hurt, and then we'd fix him at the vet. And right before Christmas, he actually got really, really hurt, and to fix him was very expensive. Up until that happened, our plan was to, instead of gifts, we were to go on vacation for March break as a Christmas gift for our family. We had set that money aside, we had saved, it's the plan. But with Mr. Bojangles' vet bills, we had to make a decision either to put him down or spend our entire Christmas budget to fix him. And the family voted, and we voted to fix Mr. Bojangles. I'm not like a monster. We still did stockings and small gifts, but we gave up our cruise that we were planning on going. Fast forward to right now, which is almost March break, and we found out that we had actually won money. So I had bought a random ticket from my brother. It was like a, like a 50-50 raffle, and we had won enough money to pay for the trip. In fact, after flights and the tickets, we're within $100. Like, what are the odds of that, friends? So we get to go on the vacation after all, which I'm very excited about, and it all just like worked out so beautifully. And Mr. Bojangles is doing great, but I don't know, like, is this fate? Is this manifestation? Is this serendipitous? I don't know, but it's awesome, and I'm so blessed and so grateful. I just wanted to share this good luck with you, and I'm curious if you've had any good luck recently. I feel like 2025 is our year, friends, for good luck, so let me know all the good luck you've had in the comments below. Love you guys, and I'll see you next time.